Now we'll discuss about the different components, different units in the thermal power plant. Everybody knows that thermal power plant is the where we are going to generate the power with the help of the thermal energy, where the coal is used as the fuel. Majorly, the coal is used as fuel, and the water is heated to become a steam, and it is sent to the turbine, and the turbine is going to rotate, and ultimately the turbine is coupled with the generator, which is going to generate the power, and this generator's the powerhouse is connected to the supply system. So there are different units in the power plant, like ash handling plant, coal handling plant, economizer, air preheater, boiler, turbine. So all these things we are going to discuss now. So as you can observe this diagram, this is the line diagram of the general layout of the thermal power plant. So different things which are present in the thermal power plant are coal handling plant, pulverizing plant, boiler, turbine, condenser, cooling tower, cooling towers, ponds, feed water heater, economizer, and air preheater. So here some components here, some units here are required to generate the power, and some units will increase the efficiency of this thermal power plant. So first thing is the coal handling plant. So whatever the coal which we have collected from different mines, coal mines, it is supplied to the thermal power plant, and in the coal handling plant we are going to store this coal storage system, and this coal is going to be automatically feed to the furnace of the boiler. So a 200 megawatt plant may require around 200 tons of coal daily. So this is how the coal is required, how much coal is required in a thermal power plant. So this is why the maintenance cost, the operational cost of thermal power plant is high, even though it is having different advantages. And among the disadvantages, this is the cost, the maintenance cost, the fuel cost is major thing. So you can understand. So for a 200 megawatt plant, it requires 200 tons of coal daily. So with this point, we can understand how costly it is to run a thermal power plant. Next, the pulverizing plant. So here the coal is pulverized. It is made to a dust-like size. So it is done because by doing so, we can increase the efficiency of the combustion. So there are 3 stages in the pulverizing plant: feeding, drying, and grinding. So this is all to increase the efficiency. So boiler. So here in the boiler, we are going to heat the water, and it is going to become the steam, and from there we are going to supply this steam to the turbine. So when the steam is next thing is turbine. So when the steam is supplied to the turbine, blades they are going to rotate. So we can use three types of turbines here: high pressure turbine, low pressure turbine, and intermediate pressure turbines. So the condenser, next thing is the condenser. The steam which is exhausted after rotating the turbine, so which is coming out after the rotating turbine. So this we are going to condense with the help of the condenser. Okay. The steam is allowed to pass on the pipes which are carrying the water, and because of the interaction of the steam with the surface of the pipes which are carrying the water, this will become condensed. And next, cooling towers and ponds. So we can use the cooling towers and ponds for condensing the steam. A condenser needs huge quantity of water to condense the steam. Instead of that, we can use the cooling towers or ponds. So it is a hyperbolic structure which is made up of steel with the height of 150 meters. Next, the thing is feed water. So the gas, which is flue gas, which is coming out of the furnace, which is coming out of the boiler after firing, which is going waste to the furnace, which will go to the chimney. So it contains some heat, and that heat we are abstracting from that flue gas to heat the water which we are going to supply to the boiler. So it not only increases the efficiency of the thermal power plant, but also it decreases the thermal stresses of the boiler. And also the quality of the steam which is produced will be good. Next, economizer. Here also the flue gas, the heat in the flue gas is used to is extracted to get the heating of the water, feed water. So we can increase the efficiency. That means we can increase the coal consumption, decrease the coal consumption. Similarly, air preheater. The air preheater also, the air which we are going to supply to the furnace, if you are able to heat it, we can increase the efficiency. So here also the flue gas which is leaving the economizer, still it will be having some heat energy in it, and that heat we are using for heating this air, and this air is sent to the furnace. So it increases the efficiency. So next thing is waste generated and their control. So the waste which is generated, that means if we are burning the coal after burning it will become ash. So for handling that, we'll be having an ash handling plant. And the water which after using, we are using so much of water. So for that we'll be having a water handling plant. So there will be two types of ashes here. So that is bottom ash or slurry and fly ash. So this slurry is dumped into the ash pond, and fly ash is separated from the flue gases with the help of the electrostatic precipitator. So this is another type of waste. Next, water handling. So we are using the water for producing the steam, for the cooling purpose, for recycling. Okay, all these things we are using the water here, and for these things we'll be having a water handling plant. If you come to the advantages and disadvantages, the main advantage is here is when compared to other fuels, the fuel is cheap here. The initial cost is less, and we can install this thermal plant wherever we want, and the availability of the cost of the land, less cost of the land, and we can transport this coal through the rail and roads, and the construction time is less. All these things are the advantages. When we come to the disadvantages, the first disadvantage is it is more pollution. So the thermal power plant produces more pollution, and it will be having a higher maintenance and operational cost, and also a huge amount of water is required for the operation of the thermal power plant. This is about the different components of the thermal power plant. Thank you for listening.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.